Hey everyone! Here's everything revealed in the new Pokémon Scarlet and Violet Hidden Treasures of Area Zero DLC trailer. Let's begin with Part 1, the Teal Mask, which takes place in a new area known as Kitakami that we'll be exploring as part of a school trip. We're still not sure if this is a whole new region or just an area within one, but it is clearly based on Japan, much like the first 4 Pokémon regions, so perhaps this Kitakami is somewhere close to them. Maybe even Johto specifically, considering how many Gen 2 Pokémon appear in this trailer. There's even a statue of Hisuian Growlithe present in the background, which leads me to believe this DLC will allow us to catch and evolve Pokémon that were previously exclusive to past regions. But the first thing we see in the trailer is this giant menacing mountain that resembles some kind of monster with horns and jagged teeth. This appears to be the lair of Ogerpon. As we see a bit later in the trailer, it appears immediately after another shot of this mountain, and we can even see similar fang-shaped stalactites behind it. Ogerpon itself looks a bit more mundane than it did in the first trailer though, as the mask it wears, while still bedazzled with these terrestrial looking crystals, don't seem to be glowing or shining like the artwork we saw before. At the foot of this mountain lies Mosui Town. There's a bit more information about it on the official Pokemon site, which states that a park close to town called Loyalty Plaza is where we can find these statues of Munkidori, Okidogi, and Fezendipiti, who are now officially known as the Loyal 3. The site also revealed that these 3 will share a new ability called Toxic Chain, which explains the weird pink scarf we've seen them all wearing. This ability has a chance to make the opponent become badly poisoned when they're attacked, and even appears to work with non-contacting moves. Following this new trailer, Riddler Ku tweeted a bit of taunting about the secondary types of these Loyal 3, implying that their primary typing is already known, or simply that obvious. I mean, with an ability called Toxic Chain, we can easily assume this trio will share the poison type. But what could their secondary typings be? In the replies, I see a lot of people hoping for a land, air, and sea theme, inferring that Okidogi would be poison and ground type to represent the land, Fezendipiti would be poison flying to represent air, and Munkidori poison water to represent the sea. Doesn't really make sense to me for the monkey to be water, unless of course it's a sea monkey! The second most popular theory is that these 3 could mirror the Pokemon starter types since their color schemes seem to fit and they are a trio. Let me know what types you think they might be in the comments. To the east of the village is an area called Kitakami Hall, where the Festival of Masks we've seen throughout the trailers takes place. Here we can see a bunch of masks hanging up for sale and worn by random townspeople. I've done a whole video theorizing about what these masks could mean and how they potentially hint at new terrestrial forms unique to certain Pokemon, which you can check out in the description or at the end of this video. But speaking of masks, the 2 siblings previously revealed seem to be wearing some too. Lil bro Kieran wears an Ogerpon mask, while his older sister Carmine chose Munkidori. Kieran is described as having a quiet, gentle nature and often hiding behind his big sister, kinda like Ogerpon hides behind its mask. Carmine, on the other hand, is strong-willed and said to be chilly towards people from other regions, perhaps hinting at Munkidori being an ice type. Yeah, that's definitely a stretch, but I did mention the unique terrestrial form theory, so could be that Munkidori will at least terrestrialize into ice type. There's a few more things we could talk about for part 1, like the specific Pokemon that will be returning, but I'll save that for the end of the video as we move on to part 2, the Indigo Disc. In this DLC, we'll be visiting an artificial island floating in the middle of the ocean known as Blueberry Academy. Immediately we meet a peculiar new character known as Cyrano, who's definitely giving me twist villain vibes. What's more is he's actually the director of Blueberry Academy and a longtime acquaintance of Director Clavel, and he's invited us here after hearing about our adventures in Paldea. Could this unassuming old man be hiding some sinister motives, kinda like Chairman Rose in the past? I mean, we all thought that about Clavel, and it turns out he was just fine, so I'm not really sure, but one thing's for sure, if we do fight against him at some point, we have a pretty solid hint at what Pokemon he's gonna use. Without a doubt, the biggest reveal for part 2 though is the Terrarium. This world-renowned Safari Zone ripoff is actually located underwater, which immediately made me question why we can still see the sky. And the Pokemon site actually clarifies that it's all a lie and the sky is projected onto the ceiling and walls to reflect the time of day and weather. What is this Hunger Games ass? Man, I swear this dude is up to something shady. The terrarium is made up of 4 areas, each with its own unique climate, ecosystem, and of course, Pokemon to discover. We even see regional forms like Alolan Executor, which were previously exclusive to their native region. Could this mean Alolan Ninetales is hiding somewhere in the icy biome? Maybe the artificial climate of this terrarium makes it possible for Pokemon to evolve differently. But while we're paused here, you probably noticed all these suspiciously familiar looking crystal formations. It's pretty clearly implying some connection to the terrestrial phenomenon, both in its name and the weird Rubik's Cube shaped crystals scattered all over the place. But these crystals look a bit different to those found in Area 0. We just learned that the terrarium is man-made, so maybe Blueberry Academy is all just a front to try and recreate the phenomenon found in the depths of Paldea's crater. This finally brings us to Terapagos. Again, I've done a whole video breaking down this new Pokemon, and there's really nothing new revealed about it in this trailer, but I can't help this feeling that perhaps this whole academy and terrarium were built to either summon or capture Terapagos. I believe Clavel was part of the original research team that went down to Area 0. Maybe this guy was part of that expedition squad too, and discovered something down there that sparked his interest in terrestrial crystals. Now, the Academy itself does specialize in Pokemon battles and will seemingly host at least a few challenging bouts, one of which will be against Lacey, a second-year student that'll show you around this new school and is said to be a good battler. There's 3 other trainers we've seen highlighted in the promo art and now appear with more detail in the trailer. 4 trainers and 4 areas in the terrarium. Now, where have I seen that before? Okay, obviously they're not bringing back the Battle Frontier, but these 4 trainers could offer a challenge similar to the Frontier Brains that each specialize in different battling gimmicks. This trailer reveals that there will be more double battles returning, so one of these Academy Aces could specialize in double battles, another one could just do standard single battles, while the other 2 could represent triple, rotation, or even inverse battles from Pokemon X and Y. I'm probably getting my hopes up, but finally let's talk about the other returning Pokemon. This trailer reveals quite a few new ones, but there's actually been a data mine that confirms every single returning Pokemon, but of course that crosses over into leak territory, so just a warning here if you don't want spoilers, there's a whole lot of starters here. In fact, I think every single one from every generation so far is going to be in Scarlet and Violet after this, though I think they're mixed, so we can't tell exactly which DLC each of these Pokemon will be in. But you might notice at the very end there's a severe lack of legendaries, besides for like the new ones, which I'm still not sure if they are confirmed to be legendary, but back in the Sword and Shield DLC we got every single legendary thanks to the Dynamax Adventure raid thingy, and even back in previous generations I remember you'd be able to catch every legendary one way or another, so most likely we're gonna see all of those, but what I really want to see is more Paradox Pokemon. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks it'd be a huge missed opportunity not introducing more Paradox Pokemon with how well they've been received. Sadly, this trailer ends in tragedy, at least for me, because we still don't get a release date. Every other big game announced today, including Detective Pikachu 2, got an actual date, so it's kind of weird they're still just saying fall and winter 2023. Like, I've got some pretty big plans later this year that I can't wait to announce, and not knowing the exact dates for this DLC is making it very difficult to book things, and I can't really say much else, or you guys will probably figure it out, but I just really hope they give us an actual date soon. Like, please Pokemon, I gotta know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video, so let me know what you're most excited for in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Hidden Treasures DLC, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't yet to stay tuned for the big reveal of my plans for later this year.